Hello, everyone, and welcome to another special episode of the Takes from Lakes podcast. I'm James, that is Nash. We're also joined by another guest, Brentlee Powers, super fan of the Ravens, Orioles, avid listener of the podcast. Honestly, I was thinking about this. I think you might be our number one fan, honestly. Might be the number one fan, of course.
Of course.
Be very proud of that title. But
Yes.
speaking of fans, I appreciate everyone for popping out, listening to all the stuff, liking the Insta, following it. Nash making some fire graphics. Gotta give him the credit.
Listen, everybody is following because of my graphic design skills.
Okay, buddy. Yeah.
100% Nash.
But
we appreciate the support.
Brentlee, let's get some opening remarks from you with your debut on the pod.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here. I've been kind of bugging James about it a lot to get me on here, especially the NFL part. So
yeah,
I'm glad that he finally gave in.
We got you. Yeah, we did. So we we can't go through AFC with you. Obviously, we did that with Aaron, but we'll do NFC. Yeah. We'll sprinkle in. You can sprinkle in some Ravens talk at the end.
It'll be the same thing we did last episode, just with the NFC. Obviously, we can't let your bias show, Brentlee. That actually wasn't the thinking. It was just. It just worked out this way.
But we were talking, Nash, dude. That Deontay Johnson take, man.
Yeah, dude. What are you doing?
What is Buddy doing?
Watch, bro. Safe.
I'm not that high on Zay Flowers. Come on, man.
If this dude isn't high on Zay Flowers,
I'm telling you, bro. Watch.
All right, we'll get into that at the end. But
yeah, hopefully there isn't a lot of those bad takes from Nash today.
You never know. He's a
It was one take.
I don't know. It was a rough episode for you, so.
That's not true. I had one take that was like sort of questionable and will turn out to be right.
Oh my God.
Y'all are hating.
Okay, buddy. Well, let's just get this thing started before Nash just embarrasses himself even more.
What division are we starting with?
Do you just want to go in order, like north, east, south, west?
I'm down.
Who said that was the order?
It's the direction.
The compass.
I don't care.
The compass said that was the order.
Yep, already off to a bad start, bud.
All right. NFC North, Lions, Bears, Packers, Minnesota. Obviously, Minnesota won last year. What was Minnesota? Were they 13-4?
Minnesota was 13-4. Yeah.
Yeah, 13-4. Green Bay was
the NFC is so bad.
Second.
Oh my God.
Right? Because they beat him in the last game. I need to get the standing.
Yes.
That sounds
right. Lions went 9-8. Packers went 8-9. So
8-9 because they beat him in the last game.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Bro, so let's just. You want to go worse?
The discrepancy between the two conferences is crazy.
We
were talking about how you can make a case for Geno Smith being the second best quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
That's
crazy.
We'll get to
that. But
all right.
Worst team last year. I don't know about this year, but Chicago Bears. I think people's opinions on Justin Fields can be very different. Brentlee, I really don't know what you think about him. Me personally, I'm not extremely high on him because, part of being a quarterback is you got to throw the ball. Obviously, the rushing upside is there. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm not a big Justin Fields lover either. I mean, I think he has his moments where he can get you down the field. He can win you football games, but it's not anything that's going to carry you to the playoffs. Like, he'll give you a winning season, but that's probably the most that you'll get out of him. Mm-hmm. And I think the Bears have done a really good job at building a pretty good roster around him this season, especially because of how bad they were last year. And I think they actually did a really good job. I mean, well, I'm looking here. They have the Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards to clean up that linebacking core.
They went crazy in free agency. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and they didn't really lose anything. I mean, the only really guy that they lost was David Montgomery, which is not anything huge because they signed Dante Foreman.
Horrible.
Yeah,
exactly. So it wasn't really anything.
And Khalil Herbert should start.
He is like
Khalil Herbert should
probably.
Yeah,
and obviously the biggest issue last year was the offensive line, and they obviously took Darnell Wright in the first round. So
yeah,
that helped.
The thing with Darnell Wright, obviously like a big project, kind of a pick.
Mhm.
And I don't think that offensive line looks great. Obviously,
No,
a few a few signings on defense, but it's still like I think people are taking the hype of Justin Fields mixed with the addition of DJ Moore and sort of concocting this, image of the Bears in their mind that they're this like electric, talent-filled young team. And going through the depth chart, like they improved, but it's still not. They're not at their final stage yet of where they want to be. I think I'm gonna put them in not quite the worst. I'm not buying the hype. Does that work?
I see. Like I kind of want to put them in middling because, like, dude, who was he throwing to last year, bro? Like they got Claypool at the deadline.
Yep.
And
Mooney is there now.
But Mooney was like
Mooney,
he got hurt
not now.
early
Yeah,
on.
Mooney was
Yeah, but
and
now
then
he got it not back.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's brother is over there.
Equanimous.
Yeah, however you pronounce his first name.
Yeah, but so that's the one thing. Like last year, he was just thrown to nobody. Obviously, you're gonna expect progression.
Bob Tunyon they signed.
Bob Tunyon, Cole Kmet they have still. Improved that offensive line enough. Signed a bunch of guys in free agency.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably put him in middling. Some people will say Justin Fields is like already a top 10 quarterback. That's just like insane.
Yeah, I think you go from being the worst team in the league and you make some like minor additions. Like, yes, they improved. I just don't think like the team looks at all good yet.
That's fair.
But so where are we thinking, Brentlee? We've got here. Should we run down the tiers with Brentlee? So we got Super Bowl contenders,
do that.
Favorites, playoff favorites. Then we've got playoff hopefuls. We've got middling teams. We've got not quite the worst, and then tanking.
They're definitely not playoff hopefuls. I'd probably put them at middling because I went through like they have a relatively easy schedule.
Yeah.
And I saw at best they could go 9-8. In worst case scenario, they could go like 6-11 and 7-10, which is a huge improvement from last year. Obviously, nothing crazy. It's not going to get into the playoffs. So I just think it's an improvement, and it's the first step forward to becoming a good team in the next couple of years. So middling is probably where it should be.
Yeah. That also, people got NFC sucks too, so they're gonna be like right.
The NFC's horrible. So,
and we're gonna say that a million times.
Who's next? The Lions or the Packers?
I think we should say the Lions for last.
Yeah, because they're an interesting team.
It's gonna honestly be so fun.
Who says the Vikings won't be the third worst team in this division next year?
Really?
I think, dude. Well, I'll get to my.
I don't like the Vikings, and I know you like Jordan Love.
Yeah, I love him.
But like
Jordan Love,
it's really hard to say that the Vikings are a worse team than.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's let's
just
look
the Packers.
At the Vikings.
The Vikings, okay.
Yeah, we'll go Vikings.
Let's look at Packers first.
We'll go Vikings.
Okay, we'll go Vikings. All right, look. Everybody knows running back doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't equate to winning games. Sorry to all the running backs. Like,
there's a few exceptions. We've gone over this.
We've gone over this. They don't matter though. On a whole.
Okay.
You look at Minnesota, like they likely got slightly worse on offense. I look for the left side of the offensive line. Darisaw.
I mean, Addison plugging in for Thielen.
Yeah, I think Addison is going to complement. I think Addison is going to complement Justin Jefferson really well on the other side of the field.
I think. I think obviously he's a rookie and not like the type of rookie where I think he's going to make an immediate. I think he's sort of what we saw with Justin Jefferson. Obviously, not as good. But I think we'll see him not be great the first few weeks and then sort of start to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I think yes, he's probably it's better than having Thielen, but in terms of this season, I think he might struggle to get off the ground. I would look for the left side of the offensive line, so Darisaw and Ezra Cleveland to take another step.
Yeah.
But losing Dalvin Cook, KJ Osborne, Jalen Reagor still kind of fighting for your third receiver role. A full season of Hawkinson. Like, are we
And they
counting
did.
that as?
Yeah, Hawkins is a plus for sure. 100%.
Yeah. So we can call it about even on the offensive side of the ball. You do lose
And-
Thielen and Cook.
But I mean,
They
You
did
go ahead,
lose
Stanley.
Patrick. They did lose Patrick Peterson to the Steelers. And
Yeah,
obviously they didn't fill it well, but they did sign Byron Murphy. So I mean, it's not
Yeah,
Patrick Peterson level.
and I
but
love Byron Murphy. No, Patrick
And
Peterson hasn't really been that. I mean, he was good last year.
he
but
was
it's
getting
not-
old.
he's
That's all. Yeah, getting
and
slower.
Andrew Booth, second-year player, first-round pick.
I love Andrew Booth out of Clemson. He's out of Clemson.
Clemson.
We talked about it's Tyson Campbell. I thought he's out of Georgia.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then Lewis Seen, first round pick. He didn't play last year, if I'm not mistaken.
If I remember, he got hurt early off for preseason, something like that.
Could look for him to play a big role. The secondary, young, likely improved. Looking at the defensive line, it's not what it once was, to say the least.
They were throwing around Danielle Hunter in trade talks, right? I mean, obviously he's still on the team, but
I think
that D line, I don't know.
I think with the best wide receiver in football, you have to put them in playoff hopefuls.
Yeah.
For me, but it's not great. Obviously, the linebacking core is not as good as it once was either. What do you guys think?
I'd say playoff hopefuls probably.
Yeah, looking at the roster,
right on the line. They're right on the line of being in there, I'd say.
Especially with how bad their division is.
Yeah, they'll probably get in though.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit too low on them before looking at the roster because the front seven does not really, just the front four kind of scares me a little bit, but obviously the offense will be fine. Kirk will be fine. Obviously, just Jefferson. So I'll put him in playoff hopefuls. I think
they have a really mediocre schedule too. It's not hard, but it's not super easy. So I think their schedule will help them out a lot.
Yeah, their games against the Packers and Lions can be really interesting for sure. But okay, we all were in pretty good agreement on that. Packers.
All right, let's go to the Packers.
Okay.
All right, we'll let you take it, James.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Let me ask you guys something. All right. Did you guys watch the Green Bay Philadelphia Eagles game last year? Did you watch it?
I think I watched the second half.
I think it was Sunday Night Football, but I remember
if it was Sunday Night Football, I definitely watched. I watched all the Sunday. So yeah.
In case you guys forgot, Aaron Rodgers got hurt. That was what was his injury that everyone thought he was gonna have the whole season, but he came back anyways. But he got hurt, and Jordan Love came in, and dude, he was slinging the ball. I'm not gonna pull up his stats, but his stats for that game were literally, I mean, I might as well, but he was slinging the ball around the field. It was insane, and that was at that point, because I thought that Rodgers was gonna be out this season and that Jordan Love was gonna come in, and they were gonna be I was yo, this team is gonna be nice. And here he is. Aaron Rodgers is gone. Jordan Love is the quarterback. Matt LaFleur is still the coach. He's still calling plays. I love Aaron Jones. I think what did I say? I said Aaron Jones was a top 5 running back, right, Nash? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Aaron Jones is a top 5 running back. I'm super high on him. Draft him in fantasy too.
Is Aaron Jones the second best receiving back behind McCaffrey?
Yeah.
I think so.
He'll be third once Jahmyr Gibbs sort of gets going, but
yeah. But
I also think
receiver.
Go ahead, James. No, you go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the receiver core is does scare me a little bit. Obviously Christian Watson, he did have a bulk of his production.
Sleeping on Jaden Reed. I mean, it's still bad, but
yeah. Christian Watson, all of his production came in 4 games last year, so I'm not gonna give too much credit, but he did obviously as a physical just freak. Romeo Dobbs got injured. What was it, halfway through the year? He has a ton of promise.
Yeah.
The O-line's fine, but I think the overall offense will be fine. Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, Aaron Jones will be fine. And then that defense has enough. I don't think they lost like anybody on that defense. Or am I missing something? And they have young
Not
guys.
anyone.
Adrian
big.
Amos.
Adrian
Yeah.
Amos. But then
He's
that's
old.
true. That's true. But obviously Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, second-year players, gonna improve. Secondary,
I like
Jair, Eric Stokes. I love Eric Stokes.
Rasul Douglas was phenomenal the back half of the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way the defense. Rashawn Gary is elite.
Rashawn Gary's so good.
on the verge of elite.
Yeah.
They
Devondre
drafted
Campbell.
Lucas. They drafted Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa. The defense is looking solid. Then again, like, they didn't lose anybody from the defense really, but it wasn't, despite some playmakers last year, it wasn't actually the best, one of the better defenses. They were sort of middling, if I do remember correctly.
Yeah, let me check
I think
that.
it's hard. I think it's hard to put them anywhere above middling.
And obviously they have Jair Alexander, who's arguably the best corner in the league. So that
thinks
obviously
he's the best
huge.
football player of all time. Have you seen his interviews? It's so
Dude,
funny.
it's pretty. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Who's the best player in the NFL? You're talking to him. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I'm putting them in. I don't know. I can't put them in playoff favorites because that's just the division. I gotta put them in hopefuls.
No.
I gotta.
Yeah, hopefuls,
All right.
hopefuls, definitely.
Okay, so we have the middling Bears, hopefuls for Vikings and Packers. You guys have anything else to say about the Packers?
I think two of the teams from this division will end up far below where we're putting them now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Packers could very easily flop, and I think the Bears could.
Yeah, the Bears could suck.
They could easily be sort of returned to the form of last year. Like they're one skill position injury away from being completely like irrelevant.
Yeah,
I think the Bears season is all going to depend on Justin Fields. Like if he plays good, they're gonna be all right. If he doesn't play good, then they're gonna have probably like the second or third pick in the draft again.
Yeah, and he's gonna be gone if he sucks again this year. Like he's not coming back this year.
There's so much talent in the draft if they suck again this year.
Yeah. Also, quick,
let's move on to the Lions.
The Bears were last in points per game last year, and then the Vikings were second to last in yards per game.
That's why, and obviously, I'm not concerned of having them in middling. That's just my justification. Like they've improved, but it's still like bad.
Yeah, there's only so much you can improve. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, Lions.
All right, let's get to the Lions.
Last in points per game.
I like the Lions.
Yards per game on defense.
Yeah, we're all just gonna agree that they're gonna win the division, right? Obviously,
they should.
I'd say that they're a clear-cut favorite to win the division.
I think they should be the favorite, but I wouldn't lock them in.
That's like kind of a crazy take, considering how the Vikings played last year.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why people are projecting this huge fall off for the Vikings.
Well, you do remember the Vikings won like every single game like by one score too. Like they were like this close away from being 5-12.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's just like it's very difficult to take a 13-4 team that has arguably improved offensively, right? Sure, taking a step back on defense, but none of these other teams have made like significant changes other than the Bears. And those changes aren't enough to be in the conversation, I think, for winning this division. And I think the Vikings were elite last year. I mean, 13-4, the best wide receiver in football.
Yeah.
First round pick at receiver, a very underrated quarterback, and a defense that, albeit worse, was solid last year. I think they have to be the favorites.
That's fair.
That's I like that. You're right.
But
It's just
okay.
not going to be easy. I'm saying the Lions are.
Yeah,
I'm saying the Lions
the
will be
Lions are
hot on their
scary.
tail.
The
Mhm.
Lions are explosive. Let's pull up their depth chart.
First round picks, obviously Jameer Gibbs. Also added
Jameer
Jack
Gibbs,
Campbell for that
Jack
defense.
Campbell, yep.
Amon-Ra's there still. They got Marvin Jones back too. Jameson Williams is suspended because he gambled, and he also is hurt too. Did you guys see that? Like he can't get
Parlay, baby.
team doctors to help him because he's suspended, so he has to like go and get his own like treatment or something like that.
That's
I know,
He
it's
shouldn't have
pretty.
been cooking up parlays in the lab. I don't.
Nah,
That's on you, bud. I like Sam Laporta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, second
Although,
round.
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if I trust. Like, obviously, Jared Goff was really solid last year. You look for when Jameson Williams gets back for him to be a difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
Penei Sewell is elite. The
Yeah.
defense is still really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to
Yeah,
the
I do agree
secondary.
with that.
Listen to this secondary: Cameron Sutton, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker, Jerry Jacobs. You've got C.J. Gardner-Johnson at backup corner. Ife Melifonwu, Brian Branch, and Emmanuel Mosley are your
Forgot to have
backups.
Brian Branch. Yeah.
I like Brian Branch, but that's about it.
Yeah. That's fair.
Linebacking core: Jack Campbell, hopefully good, but it was still a reach. Alex Anzalone, he's decent. Derek Barnes.
Yeah,
Actually, shout out
I knew you were gonna say.
Virginia Beach Derek Barnes.
No, don't shut him out.
No relation. And then on the defensive line, Charles Harris, who
Aiden Hutcherson,
Isaiah Buggs, and
Lee McNeil.
I like Ali McNeil.
I like Lee McNeil. Yeah.
I like Levi Onwuzurike. Aiden Hutchinson, obviously good, but like that defense is bad.
Yeah, it's
like really bad, and the offense isn't good enough to where I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, this team is a playoff caliber team. Like Jared Goff could very easily revert back to his ways, especially if Amon-Ra St. Brown is covered in a much more effective way this season.
I'm not worried about their offense. I think it's just all their defense. I mean, they kept Ben Johnson, offense coordinator. Goff was like actually good last year. Like
I know he was. No,
yeah, really
he was
good.
really good.
I'm not. I think he's also gonna be really good again this year. I'm not worried about their offense. I think they'll be fine. It's just the defense, dude. Like, so that's all I'm gonna say for that. It's you got to put him in playoff hopefuls. I don't know how you could really put him anywhere else. I mean, maybe Brentlee, you want to put him in playoff favorites.
no,
I want to put him in middling.
I think. Oh,
you put him in what? Middling?
That's a bit brutal.
So they're gonna get worse than last.
I think
year.
their defense is potentially the second worst in the league, behind like maybe the Raiders. And the Raiders have.
I mean, I think they were one game away from making the playoffs last year, and they didn't really get worse,
and
but they didn't get a whole lot better.
And they started 1-7.
I just don't feel like
won a ton of games to finish the season. Like they were so good to finish the season.
All right, let's put them in playoff hopefuls then.
Yeah, because in that conference, the NFC conference, like we said, so bad they could very easly slide into that 7th wildcard spot.
Yeah, they almost did it last year.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right, what division is next? I don't know my compass.
East.
Compass ways it's east. If you want to do that again.
All right. Let's do that.
This
potentially the best division in football. Or not in
I'd say so.
Gotta be the AFC East. Come on.
What? No, it's the AFC East.
Come on. And the North is probably better too. AFC North.
No.
I really do like this division. I think the Commanders are gonna be better than people think. So
I think the Giants are gonna be better than people think. Like a lot better.
They're gonna. I think all 4 of these teams can make a very good case at a playoff spot. Doesn't mean that they all will.
Well,
but
let's pump the brakes on that. I don't know
What do you
if
want to say?
I didn't
Nash?
say that. I didn't say they would. I'm just saying you could make a case at all
Yeah.
four.
first and foremost, let's get the Eagles out of the way.
Super Bowl
I
favorites.
think they're elite. Super Bowl contenders.
They only got
That's
better.
not.
They
That's not a
did lose
question.
both their coordinators, which does kind of scare me a little bit, as it would for any other team.
I don't think.
But
Yeah,
like,
it's
dude, just look at the
scary,
roster.
but like the roster is near flawless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stick to the run
And
game.
you
They'll
would
be
think
fine.
that it wouldn't. You think that it wouldn't be because they lost a lot in free agency, but they did really well
Yeah.
in the draft with Carter and
Like
Smith,
show
and
me
then
a
Ringo
hole.
in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did really well.
Yeah.
Well, Ringo, there's some concerns with Ringo, but hopefully he works out.
Yeah.
I think as a 4th, I think if they got him in the 4th round, I thought that was pretty good.
And if
Pretty good
Rashad Penny stays healthy, he's winning Offensive Player of the Year pretty easily too.
Yeah.
But he never stays healthy.
Probably, potentially the best offensive line in football.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A much more explosive running back in DeAndre Swift to go along with Rashad Penny, Kenneth Gainwell, all solid options. Jalen Hurts was elite last year. I don't love their receiver depth. They signed Olamide Zacchaeus. Quez Watkins is decent.
Yeah, outside of their first 3, it's not looking too hot.
That front 4 is good. Linebacking core, I mean, Hassan Reddick is very, very good.
Nolan Smith.
Nakobe Dean hopefully can take a step forward. But that's kind of the weakness. And I don't think, the secondary is solid. I don't love James Bradbury. But their depth in the secondary is stellar.
They're just
Terrell
gonna
Edmonds, a
rotate
strong
guys
safety.
on that front 4 too, like crazy. Like the all
Jordan
Georgia
Davis,
defense is just gonna be insane.
And I like their depth at corner as well. Avonte Maddox, Keely Ringo, Josh Jobe, Josiah Scott.
Yeah.
So
Kevon
jealous.
Wallace at backup safety.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
they're really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think all 3 of us can pretty easily put them in Super Bowl favorites. I don't think we need to say anything else for that.
Yeah, not a question. Not a question.
Should we go next? Commanders.
Let's go Cowboys
one thing
next.
hold on.
Cowboys.
Let me add one thing real quick.
Okay.
On the Eagles. Not saying this is gonna like destroy their season or whatever, but they come out, I think it's right out of the bye. They play a stretch of like stupid good teams, like back to back to back to back to back. And I'd say it at the end of the day, like record isn't, as long as you make the playoffs, record doesn't really matter. But I'm saying that their record could deplete, like a division could slip from their hands because of that really tough stretch that they have in the middle of the season.
That is rough. Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
Chiefs,
The Bills, Chiefs,
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Cowboys, Seahawks.
Okay, here's the thing. Aside from obvious, and they could lose all those games, but I mean, aside from maybe the Chiefs game, if they're as good as everybody thinks they are, they should be favored to win all those games.
Yeah, and they.
So I'm not like I think for a great team, strength of schedule isn't so much a concern.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. You're right.
That's just my take.
Right.
I mean, they do play the Pats opening night, so that's you can write them in for 0-1 pretty easily.
Okay,
Other than that, they'll be good. All right, Nash, you want to do Cowboys?
Who am I co-hosting with? Yeah.
You have a take about the Cowboys?
I don't think, obviously they've got the playmakers on defense. Micah Parsons, elite. Trayvon Diggs, elite. But I think the rest of the defense leaves a ton to be desired. Leighton Vander Esch on the weak side, you think of him as a good piece, but he really hasn't been all that good for quite a while. DeMarcus Lawrence is aging. I like Mozzie Smith and Neville Gallimore, but the interior of that defensive line leaves a lot to be desired. The linebacking core outside of Vander Esch, not good. Their over-the-top help, Jaron Kearse, Donovan Wilson at safety is all right. But, cornerback depth, Stephon Gilmore is aging.
He's still good, though.
At best. He is still good. It just, especially in a division with tons of explosive receivers.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they'll be fine in their secondary.
Stephon Gilmore can't keep up with Devontae Smith nor AJ Brown nor even Jahan Dotson I think would run circles around Stephon Gilmore. I think that defense is going to struggle unless we see Micah Parsons like break the sack record.
Which he
and
honestly
then
might.
the offense is improved, but not so much. I mean, it's pretty much just add Brandon Cooks. Like
they
it's
lost
not
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
So I mean that's not like anything crazy, but that's still a good tight end that they lost.
I think like yes, they were bad last year, like uncharacteristically so. But the offensive line aging as well. Still good. But I don't think they're gonna take the step forward that everybody thinks they're going to. I think I have them in playoff hopefuls.
Okay. Apparently the Jalen Tolbert breakout is finally here. That's what I'm hearing. But yeah, still, like you said, pretty much just added Brandon Cooks on offense. Their O line is still like I really like their O line. Pollard.
Oh yeah, I know. People act like they had this crazy offseason though, and it was literally just Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Pollard. We'll see if he comes back from like that broken leg. I don't know. I mean, on ESPN, their second string running back is Rico Dowdle. Obviously Deuce Vaughn behind that and Malik Davis, who I know, but
if Deuce
we'll
Vaughn
see how that
actually
goes.
gets reps, that would make me so happy.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. But
I was watching their preseason game earlier.
Yeah,
he looks like
seen
a toddler.
I see. Yeah, apparently he's been doing he's been making some noise too. But
shout out Kansas State.
You hate Kansas State.
I do hate Kansas State.
Why did you say that?
Because the state of I'm not
just
stop about it.
Anyways, playoff. Playoff hopefuls, I guess. Yeah, it's gotta be. Bro says shout out
so
Kansas
confused.
State.
You hate Kansas State. That was so
We gotta
funny.
clip that. Shout out Kansas State. I gotta have that soundbite everywhere I go so I can play it. For you.
Shout out Kansas State.
Oh my god.
All right, Brentlee got playoff hopefuls though, probably.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
Gotcha.
All right, let's do it then.
I want to talk about the Giants.
Let's get to the Washington.
No.
Okay. Yeah, you
listen
talk
to
about
me, buddy. Listen to me. The Giants are gonna finish second in this division.
I like that. I like it.
They're gonna finish second. They're gonna finish above the Cowboys. I'm not worried about the Commanders. The Commanders, we'll get to them. But I'm not worried about them. Daniel Jones, he's a better quarterback than people think. Saquon's gonna be on the team. He's gonna be playing week 1, which is nice. They actually were like low-key good last year. Brian Daboll was an excellent head coach. They got Jalen Hyatt on offense. Who did they add to that defense? Deontay Banks, who I actually really like. Their secondary actually really isn't bad. Adoree Jackson, Deontay Banks, Darnay Holmes, Amani Oruwariye.
I love Deontay Banks out of Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Front 7, Kayvon Thibodeau. Obviously, we know a lot about him. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence. This team, I would not be surprised if they win 11 games. Or like if they even get to 12, I would not be surprised.
All right, James.
If the Eagles have an off year, yeah.
I want you to read off for me the 3 names on the interior of the offensive line, please.
Ben Bredesen, John Michael Schmitz Jr., who actually he's not bad, and Mark Lewinsky. That is fair. Evan Neal did have a pretty. Andrew Thomas obviously incredible. Evan Neal wasn't great last year.
I want you to read the first 9 wide receivers on the depth chart, please.
Might as well read their practice squad guys too, huh? Isaiah Hodgins, he's not the wide receiver 1. Well, you know who Isaiah Hodgins is. Darius Slayton.
I know who all of them are. Who?
You stop. Paris Campbell, Wan'Dale Robinson. Dude, Wan'Dale Robinson was so good before he got hurt.
Dude, Wan'Dale Robinson is the only one in that entire receiving core who's good. Jalen Hyatt could be good too.
Isaiah Hodgins
he was a nightmare against the Ravens last year.
Yeah, the 3 games before he got hurt, he was actually really, really good.
He's so elusive. No, but like, still.
They won 10 games last year with a far worse team.
9.5, James. Tied.
They won 9. Wait, they tied.
They
who
tied
did
a game.
they
Yeah.
went 9-6
Oh
and
my
won. Wait, who
God,
they
he's got
who they
no
tie? The
ball
Eagles?
knowledge.
Wait, no, they didn't tie the
Commanders. They tied the
Commanders.
Yep.
Oh my God, I hate that. Get rid of the
I
freaking
know,
ties,
it's
bro. The NFL's
so
the worst
dumb.
league ever. I swear to God. Anyways, dude,
Shout out Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell, that dude.
Shout out Bengal. Hey Roger Goodell, up yours.
Bro. Anyways, the Giants are winning. The Giants are winning 12 games. They're winning 12 games.
Oh, you're gonna have to edit that out.
No, I'm not. Anyways, go ahead, guys. That's my take.
I mean, I like 9 wins for them. I
12
just don't
wins.
think I just don't think they're
not like that. I got
I
you.
think I'm gonna kind of like meet in the middle with y'all. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be 12 wins, but I don't think they're gonna be 9 wins. I think 10 wins, 11 wins seems pretty fair to me. My dad is a Giants fan, and he's been talking about them all off season, and I kept saying to him like, I feel like Barkley was a huge role in the Giants winning last year, and
he
I'm saying
wasn't.
like
He was a start.
He wasn't the
and
start. He was not at the end of the season.
They won a lot of games at the start. Go on, Brandon.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I was saying like, hey, if the Giants don't sign Saquon Barkley, then I don't think they're going to be that great this year. Ended up signing Saquon. I think they're right back up there. I think they're in for a good season. Definitely, I'd probably put them playoff favorites.
All right.
I mean, I said they're gonna win 12 games. I gotta put them playoff favorites. They're like, they could be the third best team in the NFC. I think they will be. I think they'll be the third best
like
team in the
that
NFC.
take actually.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think I want to put them in hopefuls, but I do think Daniel Jones is actually really solid.
Mhm.
I love the Darren Waller edition. I think he'll bounce back.
Yeah, didn't even mention him.
And I think
Yeah, I
it's
was gonna say.
with 9 guys that have some sort of relevance in the receiving core, like genuinely 9 guys who Sterling Shepard's gonna get cut. But with that many guys, a lot of them young, Paris Campbell has always dealt with injuries. I think it's impossible that at least one of them doesn't break out.
Wando Robinson.
So yeah,
dude.
I mean, even though it hurts me, I was gonna say I was gonna need Paris Campbell or Jalen Hyatt. But I think playoff favorites. I mean, it's what it has to be. All right, Commanders.
2-15.
I love the Eric
joking.
Bieniemy signing
Nah,
for them.
I was about to say you cannot be serious. I love Sam Howell. The way he ended last season was really
Electric.
good. A lot of people did not catch that, but he ended the season really well.
People are too high
Shout
on
out
this
UNC.
guy, bro.
Shout out UNC for producing quarterback talent. Just want to shout that out.
I mean,
Drake
and then
May.
you got the wide receivers. You have Terry McLaurin and Jawan Dotson, who are going to be that 1-2 punch is going to be pretty good.
I don't know who Jawan Dotson is, but
oh come on, dude.
Bro, I didn't know if you're gonna say that, Nash. You're gonna be a little jerk, but I guess you are. Obviously, he knows his name. Anyways, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
This guy. Dude. Anyways, their running backs, I don't know. Brad Robinson, Antonio Gibson. Who knows? I don't know. Brad Robinson's gonna have a good year. But Sam Howell was a 5th-round pick for a reason, bro. Like, it wasn't just like robbery that they got him in the first. He was a 5th-round pick for a reason.
No, he slid though. He was supposed to be like a 3rd-round pick.
And he didn't start over
Carson Wentz. They paid a bunch of money for,
and Taylor Heineke
and Taylor Heineke, who had a stellar season.
You did not just say Taylor Heineke. had a stellar
Or
season.
Taylor.
What is your
Heineke.
definition of stellar, bro? Like,
Jesus.
Dude.
Lord.
The man played at
Oh.
ODU.
okay. All right, hometown bias. All right, buddy.
Any
Anyways,
any playing time for a player from Old Dominion University is a stellar season.
okay.
Also, let me pull up the stats just so I don't look like a complete fool.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't great. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, let's read them out, please.
Oh gee. Oh God. All right.
This is not go well.
Okay, 62% completion. That's not horrible.
It's pretty not great.
1859 yards. I mean, given the amount, yeah, no, that's horrible. 12 touchdowns. That's really bad. He only threw 6 picks though.
He did.
Oh.
And his passer rating. Get this. A whopping 89.6.
Could have been
He was
88.
elite. He was elite.
All right. I think we should. I think that's enough
yeah.
Taylor Heineke talk.
Yeah.
For a
on.
guy that's not even on the Commanders anymore.
Yeah, he's literally on the Falcons. We can talk about him when we get to the Falcons. Anyways, that defense pretty good. Actually, probably really good.
Kind of overrated though.
Really?
Looks really good. I mean,
yeah,
it's
on
been
paper
that way
it looks really good.
Every single year you go into the season, everybody's like, "Oh, watch out for the Commanders."
No,
they were even saying this when it was the football team. They were even saying it when it was the name that I'm actually not going to say. But they were like, "Oh man, look at that defense." And I mean, they just like have it decent.
Let me get
not enough to win any football games. Chase Young, not a bust. Hasn't lived up to the hype. Interior of the defensive line, fantastic. Montez Sweat, good. But beyond that,
so they were third.
The secondary has been getting gets torched.
They were third in yards per game allowed and 7th in points per game allowed. Sorry, 8th in points per game allowed. That's good. Last year.
It's good.
That's good. That averaged out to top 5. It's right now.
How many games did they win last year?
They were 8-1.
But there's also an offensive side of the ball, and they were like really not great on that. So kind of did.
And also they literally had Carson Wentz to start the season.
Carson Wentz was throwing a football for that offense.
Exactly. Year. You can't really the beginning of the season was rough for the Commanders. Yeah. Ended on a really good note, high note.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's one of those things you just gotta depend on Sam Howell.
Yeah. I think if the defensive line can stay healthy all at the same time, like that's a game changer. Because like all 4 spots on that defensive line are pretty elite. But if they can't, then like it's not as big of a. I do like Jamin Davis to take another step forward. But whatever. I think they're middling just because of the strength of their division. I don't think they're really like obviously playoffs is within their range of outcomes, but I don't think that's a playoff hopeful team like the Vikings or the Cowboys or like.
Yeah. I want to put them in not quite the worst, but they're kind of the definition.
You want to put them in not quite the worst.
No, but I'm gonna put them in middling because they're kind of like you think of a middling team, you think of the Commanders, so I'll put them in there. I think they have to play. They play the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants twice. That's 6 games right there. So I don't know, but I'll put them in middling. Brentlee, what you got?
Middling sounds good to me. That's where I have them.
All righty. Nash, what's after East? Let's see if you can do it.
Never eat soggy.
How'd I know you was going to do that?
Let's go. Look, and you can choose the team we start with. How about that? As your little award.
For everybody listening, I'm smarter than I sound on this podcast. I promise. I think if I was actually as like dumb as I sound on the podcast, I wouldn't like be able to function like in daily life. It's pretty bad.
No, that's crazy to say.
Um,
All right, Nash, you get to
nah,
pick the team you
but
start with.
we're
too,
starting
buddy.
with the Falcons because I'm a Bijan Robinson fanboy.
Are you gonna take him
And
in
I
our
love.
fantasy league? What pick do you
Well, I
have?
took him 3. I'm not taking him at 3. God no. Well, actually, I have him at 4. I think he's the 4th bet. Little fantasy football tangent.
Uh-huh.
If you're not drafting Bijan Robinson in the top 5 or 6 of your fantasy football draft, you're doing something wrong. Genuinely, he's got guaranteed workload. He's an elite level talent. He has receiving upside in an offense we know runs the ball and runs the ball pretty well. And his the more and more that you look at it, like his competition isn't as he's got the
Algier ran for
lowest.
1,000 yards last year.
Okay, I mean it's very clear that he's not going to be getting the workload that he did last year. The only issue with him potentially is that he won't get the goal line reps. But other than that, it's.
I mean, you're pretty much just hoping he's rookie Saquon, basically. That's all
I think
it
he's
really is.
significantly better than rookie Saquon.
That's pretty insane because rookie Saquon was like RB2. So you think he's gonna be RB1?
No, I think he's RB2.
I had him in that season.
You know, it's yeah, I mean better than rookie Saquon. I think going into the season, he's better than obviously it'd be tough to replicate what rookie Saquon did his rookie year. I mean, if you look at it from like a pre-draft standpoint, he should be higher than where people were taking Saquon his rookie year.
Because Saquon was
prospect.
Like the 2nd overall pick.
Okay,
right?
But the running back position or like the value of the running back position has changed exponentially in the past few years. And Bijan Robinson is the best running back prospect.
Saquon was a better prospect. Saquon was a better. Yes, he was.
No.
Yes, he was.
No, he
yes,
wasn't. No.
I guarantee. He literally.
No,
you
don't understand. You don't understand the hype around Bijan Robinson.
If Bijan was a better prospect, he would have gotten drafted top 5.
That is not true.
Yes,
because you look at the teams that are drafting in the top 5, 3 of them horrifically needed a quarterback, and the other 2 again like rebuilding heavily. No team is building around a running back in 2023.
It's not the early 2000s anymore.
Yes, get with the program,
buddy.
Like, I don't know who took you back.
You were 2 years old. You were 2 years old when Saquon got drafted, bro.
I don't know who took you back to 1970, but there are quarterbacks in the NFL now, and we have guys who catch the ball, and those are called wide receivers.
Nash, had you said your first word by the time Saquon got drafted? Had you been saying words, or had you been walking, or were you still crawling?
I was late on set to talk, so I didn't talk until I was 13.
Okay, so you weren't saying words. Okay, gotcha. Anyways. All right, let's talk about the Falcons, bro. You talk about Bijan. What? Okay, I want to know about the Falcons. What you think about the Falcons?
No, they're bad though. They're like really bad.
Yeah, they're. I can see
I
the
think
promise.
Kyle Pitts is overrated.
That's just not.
I see the promise.
It's not a great take.
In 2 years.
2 years, bro. What?
I don't think Desmond Ritter's any good.
Yeah.
To be a person.
Yeah, and I don't either. I think with Pitts, I see like the talent is obviously there, but I think people are as hyped up on him to be what they thought he was going to be last year. And
Marcus
especially
Mariota.
like for this year, that's not going to be the case. He's not. Maybe we'll see it 2-3 years from now, but given the quarterback play, given how horrible the team is, he's going to be in a similar spot.
He's not going to be.
See him being.
He's not going to be good because Arthur Smith uses him as a decoy like every play, and he also has Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder as his quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's
Marcus Mariota is no longer in the Falcons organization.
Yeah, last year is a Philadelphia Eagle now.
Yes, but last year he had Marcus Mariota as his quarterback. But
yeah,
statistically, sure, but Kyle Pitts is still a good tight end. But Brentlee, what you got? by the Falcons.
No, I didn't say Kyle Pitts wasn't a good tight end, but okay, continue.
I honestly don't even know what to think about the Falcons, to be honest with you. I think this is probably one of like the hardest teams to like rank because like you don't really know. Desmond
Yeah.
Ritter's really even though I don't like Desmond Ritter, he's still pretty unproven at the NFL level. And
Mhm.
I mean, Calais Campbell they signed, who was obviously he's old, no doubt about that, but he still can make plays on the defensive line, as I should know as a Ravens fan, and he's been with the past couple of years. That man won us games.
Yeah.
Grady Jarrett is all right. I like him. Bud Dupree, I think, is who they signed this offseason as well. AJ Terrell, Jeff Okuda, Jesse Bates in the secondary.
Pretty interesting secondary.
Yeah, I know it's like
Yeah.
it's just really hard. You don't really know what they're gonna do this season, is my opinion.
I think
Yeah.
I think I'm with you on the Desmond Ritter stuff. Like, really, he got drafted because in his last year of college, he tore up the American Athletic Conference.
Wait, sorry,
Like-
who are you talking about? Oh, Desmond Ritter. Yeah.
Desmond Ritter, like throwing like perfect games against Memphis and Wichita State doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, that was that I
Like-
can yeah, I see what you're saying. That was a really good
And
really
it
good
wasn't
Cincy team, too.
like drafting Josh Allen or Trey Lance where you're like projecting it. Like, he can run a little bit, but it's not like you're projecting this sort of like project
That's fair.
huge potential up. Like, you drafted him because he had a good season against bad football players. No disrespect, obviously. But just in the scheme of things, he's
Yeah.
not very good.
Their wide receivers are terrible outside of Drake London. Like I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, and
There's no
Drake
one else is
London-
gonna make plays.
Drake
Yeah,
London
Matt
isn't,
Collins,
I don't
man.
think, fast enough to break the game apart by
I
himself.
do. I think he's gonna be good though. But I
He
think
is good.
they're pretty easily like a not quite the worst team.
Bro, Matt
say.
Collins is yoked though.
Dude, I know.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
god.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
seen that.
Yeah, and the defense is bad.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Linebackers,
Yeah.
bad. I don't mind Arnold
Yeah.
Ebiketie, but he's a rusher. They signed some veterans on the D line, but
Yeah.
enough to produce a lots of pressure. No, I like what they've got going at safety, but it's not.
Not quite the
it's just
worst.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, Calais Campbell was the reason why he was good is because the pieces around like the Ravens defensive line was pretty good, so he was able to fit in well with that.
Yeah,
But him,
rotate.
he's the only guy on that defensive line that's gonna be able to make plays.
Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah, my bad.
One of the
But
only
yeah,
guys.
Calais Campbell isn't gonna. I feel like he's not
I
gonna
mean,
be
the
as good
defense
as he was
definitely-
these last couple of years.
Definitely took a step forward, but it's the type of defense that like is going to be worse than what people might see because it's a lot of old regressing, or at least in parts. Like, I don't think Grady Jarrett will return quite to his peak form.
Not quite the worst.
I think they're still tanking.
Okay.
I think them taking Bijan means that they know that they're still tanking.
Okay. That's fair.
No, not
I think
quite the worst.
I think
Okay.
they know that running backs don't equal winning, and them taking him is their way of like they want to build for next draft.
Yeah. They're
And they
okay.
have Bijan.
I think
already
they're
in the
right
team.
on that fine line between tanking and not
If-
quite the worst.
yeah.
I think only a select few teams going not quite the worst. Save that for the Raiders and Cardinals. So, well, I will put him in not quite the worst at that. If you give us permission, Nash.
I mean, I have him in tanking, so Brentlee.
said not quite the worst.
I'm gonna say not quite the worst. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Also, quick time check. We're at like 55 minutes right now, so probably don't want this to take everyone's day after listening to it.
I don't want to take
but-
up everyone's day. I'm considerate of other
That's
people's
is
time. I'm
exactly what it
James.
sound like. That's exactly what I said. So we're one team. Dang, it took forever in the Falcons. We're one team through the South. Nash or Brentlee, you choose who you want next because these
Or
four
what?
teams are close.
Go
He chose
with.
last time.
No, I
You chose
No,
the
didn't.
actually, I
Falcons.
did.
Oh my, you're just
I'm
embarrassing
kidding.
yourself, dude.
I'm just kidding.
You're not kidding. You
Let-
actually thought each other.
I'm not that childish. Well, I mean, I am actually.
Yeah, I know. All right.
I'd say let's go to the Saints.
Okay.
I think Saints is a pretty not great team this season.
I think it's
in my
pretty
opinion.
obvious that they're middling,
Yeah.
but I do like Derek Carr.
Okay.
Although,
Oh,
do you guys have him in
yeah.
not quite the worst?
No, I have him middling.
Middle,
Although
I mean.
coaching scares me a tad.
That's true.
Sean Payton's not there
I'm
to
not
save them
buying
anymore.
any sort of like I think the offense will just be decent. I don't think there's anything to suggest that they're going to
Olave's
be
gonna
great. I
have a
think,
really good year.
yeah, I think Trevor Penning is really bad at football for starters. And then the defense is bad, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't like
really
him.
bad. Like the
pretty
secondary is
old.
decent. The secondary is
Tyrann
decent.
Matthews taken a huge step down since he left the Chiefs. Massive step down.
Yeah, it's a pretty old
So-
secondary. Or not secondary, it's defense.
Demario Davis is old. Jalen Smith isn't what he once was. Cameron Jordan is old. The defense is bad. Marshawn Lattimore and Marcus May, and then Paulson Adebo, if he has a good season, are carrying that defense.
Yeah, I do like their corners.
I do like
Alontae
Brian
Taylor.
Brzee, but he's not even starting on the depth chart.
Yeah,
as of
he's not
now,
going to be
so.
there right out of the gates. But yeah, I think they're a pretty easily middling team.
Yeah, and you
Not
have
much to say
Alvin
about
Kamara. Alvin Kamara, who's going to suffer that suspension starting the
Who's
season.
old and like really
So-
hasn't been himself the last couple of years anyway.
Yeah. Was
True.
it 3-game suspension, right?
I think that was 4. Was it 4? Was it 3? I don't know.
I think it was 3, yeah.
It should serve as a lesson to all of you listening. Don't be a bad person, or you'll get
Nah.
suspended for 3 games.
Yeah,
Did-
listen
did-
to Nash, man.
Did y'all hear what happened to Jimmy Graham?
What happened?
No.
You didn't hear what happened to Jimmy Graham?
No. Wait, I think I might.
I don't. Like he got arrested, and then they came out and said that like they thought he was under the influence of drugs, but he actually had like a medical episode.
Damn.
But he was arrested. Yeah.
CTE is real,
Fake.
in fact.
Yeah, just freaking look at Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, that guy. Anyways.
Shout out Antonio Brown. We hope you're listening.
Yeah, be our next guest.
Uh.
Anyways, middling. We got him all middling, right? Or am I missing something? Right.
Yes, we have the
middling.
middling. Yeah, I like their weapons. I just like the defense
Yeah.
is really bad. Derek Carr is solid, but not enough to.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody has to win that division, but I think we're going to struggle to put any of those teams above middling.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Tampa.
interesting. Like the Saints should win that division.
Yeah, I mean, who's the betting favorite? It's probably Saints.
I'd
Oh,
say it's
God.
Saints because
Okay,
of Carr.
The Panthers are still tanking, right?
No. Ooh, no.
No,
It's the
Not-
Saints,
not
by the
even.
way. Yeah.
not even close.
It's the Saints. Falcons are second for
That
betting.
makes
Really?
sense.
It does.
That makes sense,
I can see that.
dude. Because like Kyle Trask, are you kidding me?
Well, Baker's gonna start.
Which that's so scary if you're a Buccaneers fan.
Yeah.
Bro,
So
Baker
speaking of
is
the
like
Bucks.
bad. There's a reason Baker was a walk on in college. Like
Okay, that's insane to say because he won the Heisman. That's just like he won the Heisman, but you're like, dude, he's a reason he was a walk on, bro. Like he won the Heisman.
There's a fluke. System
Fluke
quarterback.
Heisman year. All right. Anyways, yeah, Buccaneers.
Football.
This is a rough team, man.
This
I'm
is
not gonna lie with you.
This division is so
I
bad.
thought we were talking about the Panthers.
No, we do what I say, Nash.
Oh,
Bucks.
bro, what?
What division is worse, this AFC or NFC South? They're both pretty bad.
No.
AFC South gets
NFC
carried by
South.
the Jags, so they're probably this one.
Bro,
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
Titans are like
And
have
the
Derrick
Titans are
Henry.
just gonna get like the 1 seed probably because they're the Titans. So
Bro,
Seriously,
Mike
Vrabel.
Vrabel's so electric.
I know. Insane.
So yeah, I do like Rashad White.
Yeah.
Their receiver depth is abysmal. They have
Mike Evans,
nobody
Chris Godwin, and then nobody else.
Dude, listen. Okay, so Cade Otton at tight end. Listen to the backup tight end. Who is Keeft?
Well, real ball knowers like me, you know who that is. If you watch games last year.
James, in his career, hold on.
He caught a touchdown last year, I think.
Yeah, in his career. He has
Let me guess.
7 catches.
Okay.
For 80 yards and a touchdown.
And a touchdown, like I said.
Dang, James.
Stuff,
look at James over here.
Wait,
I literally remember him.
Actually, how did you know that?
I watch every single game, Nash. Who do you think I am?
You know, he just sits and watches Red Zone every single Sunday.
Yeah, basically. I think it was it the Packers game that he caught it? Wait.
I swear, if you're actually about to cook Dude, if you're about to cook this up, this is gonna be
caught
crazy.
in the Packers game, Nash, don't ever argue with me again. Wait a minute. Game log 2022. Touchdown. No.
Bro, I'm gonna be in shit. Yes.
Wait,
yes.
one?
Yes.
He didn't catch a pass in the Packers. I think Cade Otton caught one in the Packers game. Maybe it was a 2-point conversion. Did he even score a touchdown in the Packers game? Yeah.
Wow, that is low level ball knowledge.
They did.
James.
No tight frick.
Their offensive line is horrific aside from Tristan Wirfs and Ryan Jensen.
Yeah. Luke Gedicke's not bad.
He's all right, but it's the defense looks good per usual.
Kalijah Kancey, I love.
Yeah, I do, but the front four has taken a step back. You have to admit, from what it was. I do love Kalijah Kancey. Joe Tryon. I don't want to say the Shoyinka part. He was drafted as Joe Tryon, so
yeah,
that's actually mad disrespectful. I shouldn't be saying that. But
all right, you got it, right?
Anyway. The secondary looks good aside from that strong safety spot. But yeah, I mean the defense should be good. It's just all about, whether the receivers can carry them like they did sort of in the Jameis Winston era. Are they middling?
No, they're low-key tanking, bro. Like I know I said Raiders and Cardinals, but they're tanking. This team sucks. This team just sucks. It doesn't matter. They have Baker / Kyle Trask as their quarterback.
Also, one thing I was
wait, hold on. Are you guys serious?
Yes, they're tanking.
Yes, 100%.
Bro, no.
Oh my god.
Look at this defense. Look at this defense.
I don't care.
Y'all definitely.
It doesn't matter. They have Baker and Kyle Trask as their quarterback.
They have 2 top 15 wide receivers.
It just doesn't matter.
A top left tackle.
It doesn't matter.
And a borderline wait, hold on. I can't tell if y'all are being serious or not. I feel like you guys just texted each other like, yo, we're just gonna say tanking. Like,
dude, this team, Nash, team is horrible.
No, and
this team's not good.
The team. I never said the team was good.
You just said this team is gonna win the Super Bowl,
bro.
Gaslight is crazy.
Nash.
Did you stop the recording, bro? You're kidding me right now. I'm not putting them in tanking.
You're putting them in tanking.
They're literally
putting them in tanking.
The Panthers are plus 360 to win the division, and the Bucks are plus 750. Literally everyone.
No, they're not. The Saints.
I just said the Saints are plus 130, Falcons plus 210, Panthers plus 360, and Buccaneers literally more than twice the chance to not win the division. Bro,
why?
Half the chance.
Their defense is good.
Plus 750.
It's literally the same team minus an old Tom Brady.
Their defense can be as good as they want, but they're not going to put points on the board. They can have 2 top 15 receivers all they want. Baker Mayfield is still in the football.
Wasn't
They're
their whole
not going to be
defense
able to
like
score
injured
points.
last year
They're
too?
not. Okay. I can get behind not quite the worst.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh
not
my
tanking.
god.
Let's see who they play.
They're not. Their defense is too good for them to be tanked.
So they open the season with the Bears, then they play the Eagles. Okay, so they do play the AFC South. And then they play the
They're gonna ship off some of these guys to the trade deadline on their defense. It's gonna
We're putting
happen.
them in.
Yeah.
We're putting them in not quite the worst. I'm
I mean, I
actually like
guess.
shocked by
That's
the fact that y'all
dude.
just said that.
I think Devin White's gonna get chipped off at the trade
I
deadline.
wouldn't be surprised. Is he in a contract here? I think he is, right? Because he's trying
I
to get
think
traded.
so. I believe so.
Are
He requested a
y'all
trade.
really gonna convince me to put them in tanking right now?
Dude.
Yes, we're convincing you.
Yes.
My goodness.
All right. The Bucks are going in tanking.
I feel like if we do that, we should put the Falcons in tanking too.
I don't know.
Falcons have been
'Cause I think-
tanking for like
Nash, they have the
already,
fourth
though.
worst Super Bowl odds in the league.
Because I think who
The Bucks.
behind
The Colts,
Probably
the Colts, which is
Texans.
interesting. The Colts, Texans, and Cardinals.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay.
The Raiders are like
all right.
eighth.
All right, so I think obviously I think the Saints are a step above everybody else in the division. Can we agree on that?
Dude, I'm looking high on the Panthers.
I am too.
Okay, we're putting the Bucks. We're
I'm
putting
not-
the Bucks in tanking. Brentlee, talk about the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I like the Panthers. Bryce Young, I don't think is going to be
making me look so bad.
I don't think Bryce Young will be the best quarterback because I really
Doesn't need to be.
I like Anthony Richardson a lot,
I think
but
he's better.
Bryce Young is still going to be good. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they re-signed Bradley Bozeman, former Raven, pretty good center. Aiden Hurst, tight end, whatever, sure. Miles Sanders was pretty good on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen, he's old. I think he'll be
really good for Bryce Young in his rookie year.
Von Bell, who they also signed for
Shark
safety.
they got. Mingo they drafted.
Can I interrupt
Mingo,
really quickly?
God, this guy.
Hold on. I want both of you guys to pull up the depth chart on ESPN and go to the third string right inside linebacker.
What the heck? Anyways, as Brentlee was saying, they have an improved O-line. Yes, they have an improved O-line. They completely revived their whole offense. All their skill positions are just completely different now. And I like this defense. I actually love this defense.
Bro,
you got JC Horn.
It's a good one, man.
Oh god.
Anyways, Brian Burns, one of the best pass rushers in the league.
How did I miss this? I didn't know they moved Jeremy Chin to corner.
Yeah,
they also signed.
He's been both, I think.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about this, but yeah, they just signed Justin Houston a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I thought he was retired.
That's interesting.
A little veteran presence, I guess. JC Horn is
we're seeing
so
a lot of former Ravens.
JC Horn is good,
in this
and
division.
Dante Jackson is an elite athlete. Yeah,
This
I mean,
team?
looking at this defense, it's definitely a step above. They're like solid. I mean, other than Brian Burns, I don't think they're gonna get after the quarterback very much. Derek Brown's more of a run stopper.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should considering the NFC, I think we should put the Saints and playoff hopefuls, and then either the Panthers and either playoff hopefuls or middling. Like just considering the rest of the NFC, I think we should do some
you know what?
And then put
I'm okay with putting the Panthers in middling with the Saints.
Okay. I'm fine with that too.
I think we could put the Falcons in tanking with the Bucks and move the Panthers down to not quite the worst.
No,
because Panthers
not quite the worst. Are not quite the worst.
I think we could put the Bears down to not quite the worst, honestly. Or the Commander.
Why
Or
don't we
the
just change
Commanders.
every team? Why don't we just go through
I don't
every
know.
single team
I guess
again?
I guess that's the point of middling. All those middling teams are pretty similar.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think we should put the Panthers and the Saints in middling, and then Bucks are in tanking. Falcons are not quite the worst.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, we could do what you said, put the Saints up to playoff hopefuls.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brentlee?
I'm gonna agree with y'all. I would like to make a comment on Hayden Hurst real quick, because he finally got what he wanted, and I'm gonna explain here in a second. So the Ravens drafted him in 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
Backup tight end to Mark Andrews, because we drafted Mark Andrews the year later. So he was a starter for 1 year and then backup after that. Still really heavy in our offense, right? We run 3 tight ends.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't want to play for you. I want to be a starter on a different team. Trade me. Goes to the Falcons, right? Who do they draft? Kyle Pitts. After his contract is over, he goes over to the Bengals. Who is in front of him? CJ Uzama. He's finally getting his wish. He's the starting tight end on the Carolina Panthers.
And you're crushing his dreams, Nash.
And I'm congratulating him now, because I love Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he's finally getting his wish. It might be on not a bad team, but it might be on an average team.
Mm-hmm.
But he finally got what he wanted.
Shout out Hayden Hurst. I did like watching him with the Bengals last year. He was actually like low-key fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he played so hard. But anyways, Panthers. I think we should put them with the Saints in middling. And then we'll put Bucks and tanking. Falcons are not quite the worst. All right, should we move on to the NFC West?
Yes, the last division.
All right, let's just get the Cardinals out of the way. They suck. They're in tanking. Dude, this team
God.
They're gonna
Dude.
Kyler might be out the whole year.
I literally just completely skipped over them. Like, they're gonna be so bad, it's like not even funny.
Kyler might be back by like week 8, but then they'll just be 1-7. He's gonna be like, I'm not gonna come back.
Who's their backup? Is Colt McCoy still their backup?
Yeah, Colt McCoy's gonna start week 1.
Of course he is.
They're so bad.
Yeah. I really don't want to spend too much time talking about them.
And the frustrating thing for them too is they have some talent.
Yeah.
It's just like they're still so bad.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad for Budda Baker.
Yeah. He
oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I hope he gets it.
Yeah, I don't imagine him getting it, but who knows? Paris Johnson, what was he, 4th overall, right? Yeah, they're probably 2-15, 3-14 watch for sure. But
yeah. All right,
let's put them in tanking and move on.
Okay, here's a kind of a hot take. I think the Rams are not quite the worst.
I think the Rams are pretty bad this season.
Yeah.
Like Cooper Kupp carries. That offensive line is bad.
I think that's a pretty like consensus.
Van Jefferson. Well, I mean, given that they just won the Super Bowl like 2 years ago.
I mean, yeah, they were like
really
one of the
fallen
worst
off a
teams
cliff.
last year.
Yeah. Because they went all in that Super Bowl year, and now they're
exactly. They're Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp are like pretty much the 2 remaining like relevant players.
It's stars and scrubs. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
they did draft Stetson Bennett though.
I don't want to say that Matt Stafford is completely washed, but he's close.
I mean, he apparently like the healthiest he's ever been.
Stetson Bennett is going to finish the season for the Rams. I'm just going to say that right now.
I think Matt Stafford might get hurt.
Stafford,
it's pretty hard not to, man.
Cam Akers, there's nothing to like make you believe that he's going to do anything.
I don't know. Wide receiver was kind of good last year.
Their wide receiver depth is
Ben Skoronek's their wide receiver 3. Yeah.
Their defense, I don't think, is very good outside of Aaron Donald.
Listen to this offensive line: Joe Noteboom, Steve Avila, Brian Allen, Coleman Shelton, and Rob Havenstein. What? the secondary is abysmal.
Yeah.
Name me one player that you think like the general public knows about on that defense besides Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like their defense is so bad outside of him. It's so bad.
You know what? They're tanking.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Easily.
Yeah.
That team
Tanking.
is tanking.
What do
Easily.
you
That team
guys
is
think of
bad.
Cooper Cup in fantasy? Real quick.
I don't know. I'm personally, I'm not drafting him anywhere.
This makes me
Yeah.
makes me want to put the Buccaneers into not quite the worst because they are not nearly as bad as these guys.
Yes, they are, dude.
The Buccaneers, the Bucks are so bad, man.
Nah,
Come
just say
on.
they're gonna win the Super
Fine.
Bowl at this point.
Fine. I love the Buccaneers.
Just put on your Bucks jersey.
Bro,
at this
for whatever reason, the Buccaneers, maybe I'm just like inflating the value of some of these players because they dominated the Chiefs in that Super Bowl one year, and I just like can't
You
get out of my
still
head.
can't get that.
You love the
Like,
Buccaneers
I
just
think
as
of
much as you love Zay Flowers.
I think of Shaq Barrett as like this like demonic force. He like still lives in my nightmares.
It's fair. He would live in mine
Um,
too.
So Seahawks, or should we go ahead and get to the 49ers?
I think we should save them. I think we should go Seahawks.
Okay.
Seahawks.
But wait, we're putting Rams in
Tank.
tanking. Okay, got it. Cool.
Not quite the worst is kind of a weird tier. I think we only had one of them in the AFC and now only one of them in the NFC. Unless we put the Seahawks there, which I don't think we will. Are they gonna go in playoff hopefuls?
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yes.
I'm assuming
Like-
Gino isn't gonna go back to being trash again. Like we said, we can bring this talk about this again. Gino, second best quarterback in the NFC. Probably.
Possibly.
I don't hate that.
hurt.
Dak could really like come back. Daniel Jones could be.
I don't think you put him in there right now, but I think
Jared Goff, Justin Fields, even Jordan Love if he's what you say he's gonna be.
The consensus is probably Fields is the second best because the public is so high on
That's
him.
unreal.
Yeah, the public is so
yeah,
high on him. That's probably what everyone like. If you did like a consensus ranking, that would probably be it.
It's his fantasy
Honestly-
value. That's what it is.
Honestly, I think even
That's the
if
only
Geno
reason.
Smith takes a step back from last year, the weapons are elite.
Dude, I know.
And I think the fact that given how good the wide receiver core is, I think it gives Noah Fant an opportunity to shine. And hear me, listen. So Noah Fant, right? Not really a great like route runner or like a great catcher of the football, but he's an elite athlete at the tight end
Broncos
position.
legend.
Yes. All of
You know, he was sort of the Kyle Pitts-esque prospect before Kyle Pitts, obviously not as good, but similar. He's a fast sort of receiver type build. And if he can get matchups with slower linebackers, given the weapons elsewhere on this team, and get into open space with the football, I think he could have a stellar year. The offensive line is bad, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
I like Charles Cross at tackle.
Same.
And the defense is young.
Yeah.
Get this. Tariq Woolen
Witherspoon.
chopped his name in half.
Oh my god.
Huh?
He's now just
Bro,
Tariq
what?
Woolen.
That's so funny. Chopped it.
I was looking through their depth chart and I'm like, that's not. Is that
Reek.
him? And I'm like, I looked it up. I'm like, yeah, that's him.
Could
I don't
be
know why he
Rick,
did that.
Could be Rick
Woolen.
Oh
Oh my god.
Jamal Adams is like people just forget completely about Jamal Adams.
I did forget about him.
He didn't play at
honest
all
with
last year, right?
Yeah,
No.
he
Yeah.
didn't play. Bobby Wagner back on the team. Not
Jordan
great.
Brooks is
Jordan
so
Brooks
good.
is good. Devin Bush even is decent.
Yeah.
Not great, but decent.
Andre Diggs is
it's
good.
amazing. Jordan Brooks and Devin Bush were in the same draft class, right?
Who's the first name you said?
Jordan Brooks, and Devin
Jordan
Bush were in the
Brooks.
same draft.
Devin
Draft
Bush was a first rounder in 2019, was it?
Yeah,
18?
and Jordan Brooks. So from what I remember, Devin Bush was a first rounder of the Steelers, like high, and everybody was so high on him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yep.
Jordan Brooks was a first rounder of the Seahawks, and everybody was like, "Wow, what a reach!" Out of Tech, I believe Jordan Brooks went to Texas Tech. And now like the tables of like Jordan Brooks is actually a great player. It's just interesting. The Seahawks caught so much flack for that pick, and it was the one.
Yeah.
Little
Devin
Pete
Bush was a
Carroll.
year earlier, by the way. 2019.
darn it.
Jordan Brooks is 2020.
Gosh,
All good.
I was close.
You were.
I like Uchenna Nwosu. I think the secondary is really kind of solid.
Devin Witherspoon.
Maybe not a whole lot of pressure, but if Boye Mafe can break out, the defense looks solid. And then elite weapons. So I think they're playoff
JSN.
hopefuls for sure.
Yeah, playoff hopefuls.
Dude, JSN, Lockett, and DK Metcalf are gonna go crazy this season.
Zach
That is
Charbonnet,
probably
too.
that is probably the best wide receiver trio in the league. They're better than
Yeah.
Bengals. I'll say that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at me. Yeah, do it. Yeah. I'm saying it right now.
What?
Yes.
T. Higgins.
Actually, I don't know.
Higgins.
I
T.
don't know.
Higgins.
saying it.
No. Hold on. Hold your horses. T. Higgins is the second best wide receiver on the Bengals and would be the best wide receiver on the Seahawks.
Yeah, it's true.
So don't come in here with that garbage. No.
Okay.
T. Higgins would be the best wide receiver on the Seahawks.
Okay.
It wouldn't be the best in the Pats. Anyways.
You've had, honestly, Brentlee, your percentage of good takes on this podcast tonight has been good, but I won't stand for that.
your good take percentage.
Especially
the end of the season, there will be
like,
better than the Bengals. Promise you.
No, you're out of your mind.
100%.
Dude, Tyler Boyd could break both of his legs, and
okay, that was sweet.
And the Bengals wide receiver trio will still be better than the three wide receivers in Seattle.
Oh my god,
that was.
And I sort of say this too because I again have like nightmares of what they do to the Kansas City secondary. Just like Jamar Chase mossing Charvarius Ward in 101 over and over and over and over again.
Hitting the gritty on him. Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the San Francisco 49ers.
Super Bowl favorites.
Wait,
last team.
You know what? Should we put the Seahawks in playoff favorites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should be the favorite to get that wild card spot.
Well, they're competing with two other teams, I guess.
But I think they're the favorite.
Yeah, they're the favorite to be in that wild card spot. So, yeah, playoff favorites.
And then the San Francisco 49ers, probably the best defense in football.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Elite, I'd say elite weapons. An elite 1-2 at wide receiver with Debo and Brandon Ayuk.
Juwan Jennings not bad at all.
Probably the best running back in the league.
It does not matter.
And a top 3 tight end.
It does not matter who their quarterback is. They will be the best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
The Kyle Shanahan system, it does not matter.
Did you know that Willie Snead is still lagging around? He's on the Niners.
That's insane.
Yeah. I saw that. I'm like, wow. Willie Snead is still out there.
Old. Isn't Willie Snead actually Willie Snead like the 4th or something?
Yeah, he's 4th.
Yeah, it's Willie Snead the 4th.
He caught 3 passes last year. I don't know.
With the Niners?
Tough.
It was 2 years ago for the Panthers. Oh, okay, that's funny. Oh no, that's preseason. He got 3 passes, I think. Anyway, shout out Willie Snead. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they have a quarterback. Kyle Shanahan's system is literally built for anybody to be it. Like, there's literally an outside shot that Sam Darnold could be starting week 1. It's most likely going to be Purdy. Obviously,
dude, that would make me laugh
Lance.
so hard.
And he would so win like 13 games, and everyone gets so high on him. It's like, dude, come on. But yeah, obviously their offense is all the stars. Their O-line's good enough. Defense best in the league. Super Bowl contenders. They're going to play the Eagles most likely in the NFC Championship. They got Javon Hargrave too. We haven't said that. He is run-stopping god.
A lot of people were also saying like about their draft, how they didn't really do much in their draft. But I'm like, they didn't really need to do anything in their draft. Yeah. Exactly.
Did they have a
first I don't know. They did not.
Traded for McCaffrey. Or no, Trey Lance.
Yep.
God, I can't imagine they didn't make that trade.
So bad. And they literally took Brock Purdy with the last pick.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Holy crap.
Dude, yeah. Because imagine where would they have been picking?
If they
I don't even
towards the year. like 29th because they lost in the championship game. And
They
they
could've
didn't have their
taken,
second
like-
round there because they traded McCaffrey or traded for McCaffrey with it. So I don't think they picked till the third round. But
They could have
Yeah.
gone great. That team could be looking
even
nuts
better.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But regardless, Super Bowl favorites. We'll see how they do against the Eagles in the NFC Championship. Hopefully, they don't have to put McCaffrey at quarterback again. But yeah, that's. You guys have anything else to say about
Okay.
NFC?
Brentlee, we need your Ravens rundown real quick
Yeah, let's get
before
it.
we sign off.
Really? You're doing this? All right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know.
Hold on. You get 3 minutes.
All right, I'll tell you
3
when to start.
minutes. That's it.
Yes.
Yep. It's a
I'm-
speed
All
run.
right.
Hold on.
All right.
3-minute timer. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So we're gonna start off. Wide receivers, love them. Got OBJ. He's gonna be better than people think. I'm sorry. He will be. Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers, who Nash apparently loves. Apparently he's better than Deontay Johnson, I guess. Sure, you can say that. Rashad Bateman is the wide receiver 1. If he stays healthy, he's a stud. Obviously Lamar Jackson, who's has a real shot at competing MVP with Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that's really an argument. Offensive line, still pretty good. With dang it, now I'm drawing a blank. Y'all put me on the spot.
Pressure.
The center that we just freaking drafted. Is it
Linderbaum?
Tyler Linderbaum.
Yeah.
Linderbaum, duh. Jesus Lord.
Duh.
Still got Ronnie Stanley out there, a tackle. We do have a hole at left guard, which is a little bit of a concern because we
Shout
got
out
rid
Marshall
of
Yanda.
Speak, Nash.
because we lost Ben Powers to the Broncos this season, so that's gonna be a hole. And I love the defense. Nash, when you were talking about the Ravens and the AFC podcast, and y'all completely forgot about David Ajabo. Like y'all didn't even mention him. And I don't if y'all
Did I
don't
not?
if y'all no, you didn't. And if y'all recall, that man was going to be a guaranteed top 5 pick in the draft if it weren't for that.
He was going to go ahead of Aiden Hutchinson.
No, he was
He had
not
a crazy
Nash.
year at Michigan.
He was
No,
not.
yes, he was.
So-
No, yes, he was. No, yes, he
I
was.
mean,
let
it's,
Everly-
that's,
you let
that's
Everly speak
not
'cause he
it's
didn't.
not crazy. So yeah, David Ajabo and Adafe Away are going to be way better than everyone thinks. I love our linebackers. Obviously, you have Roquan Smith, probably one of the best linebackers in the league. Patrick Queen, super elusive. Love him. Corners, that's the biggest concern on the team that I have. Marlon Humphrey, really good. Gonna miss the start of the season because of that whatever surgery. I don't even know how that happened because he hasn't had a problem all off season. So all of a sudden he's having surgery. He's gonna miss the beginning of the season. Got Rakia Sin out there. He's seen. Who cares? It doesn't matter. He is a little bit banged up right now. He should still be there week 1. I think we drafted Pepe Williams last year, who's, he's there. Caillou Blue Kelly is out there. I like him. And safeties, Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams. Love those guys. So
Time. Wow.
I like the team.
All right, record prediction. That's all.
Record prediction. Record prediction. I got like 12-5. 13-4. 12-5, 13-4.
If Lamar stays healthy, I see no reason why they don't win 12 games.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Lamar Jackson stays healthy, this team is outside of the Chargers and I'd say the Bengals has probably the best chance of competing with Patrick Mahomes in that AFC Championship game.
I can agree with that.
I mean,
I think I think they're the most explosive potentially.
Yeah.
They can
What year was that? Was it 2021 where we beat y'all in that? In the regular season? Yeah.
Yes.
Was that 2021?
The Ravens really good year.
That game was so fun.
You know what? It might have been.
And
It was 2
No,
years.
2019.
No, it wasn't
no, it was
2019.
It wasn't
2019
Lamar's
was the
MVP?
year.
That was sort of the
No, no, no.
that loss.
Oh.
That loss was sort of the start of Mahomes' like sort of downturn in the year that we lost in the AFC Championship when he had like a bad year. Like
Well,
anyway, I remember shout out Jaden Yoon for just clowning me after we lost that game. That's somebody you need to know, Brentlee. Like maybe a bigger Ravens fan than you if it's possible.
wow. Oh,
Not
I
to
don't-
say
I
that
don't
it is,
know.
but it's close.
I don't know if that's possible, man. I've been
all right.
diehard Ravens fans all my life. I don't know. That's hard to do.
Gotcha. Well, Brentlee, thank you for coming on the pod. Glad we got
No
you
problem.
on. I'm down to
Mhm.
have you on again, come week 8, week 9, whatever, get a little midseason, talk a little midseason ball with you. You can, complain about the Ravens when they're, 3-6 or whatever.
I don't have to. Greg Roman's not our offensive coordinator
Oh,
anymore. I don't
yeah.
gotta
There
complain
we
about
go.
anything. Unless Todd
Yeah.
Monken just decides to be poo-poo, then
Yeah,
I
I think
should be
Tom might
fine.
be good. But yeah, thank you for coming on. To all the listeners, keep the Insta hype going. Nash is doing a great job in that. We're gonna also release. Me and Nash talked about this. Release a graphic for every episode that we release. Sort of adds to the circle of all of our listeners. But subscribe to the
I'm gonna
YouTube.
release a graphic. for
I'm gonna
every-
tell Nash to release a graphic. I'm gonna do everything else. But yeah, thank you, Brentlee, for coming on. Got any
Sorry to
final
those
remarks?
of you who were annoyed by my takes. I'm not gonna
Nash, your
stop.
final remarks.
Keep listening, hopefully.
Stephen A. Smith character
but-
right here.
Oh, for real.
Yeah. Well, when I'm right, we're gonna come back to this moment, and you guys are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, Nash, you're such a genius! Oh my gosh!"
When
I
Zay
don't think
Flowers
I'll ever
goes for
say
2,000 yards in his rookie year. That's what it's sounding like you think's going.
1,200.
That's okay.
That's a lot.
You realize he has
He's
to
the
win rookie
wide-
of the year for you to be right.
He's
has
also
to.
he's the wide receiver 3 on our team.
I think
Like, come on.
Yes. He has to win rookie of the year. Or be
I think
second behind Bijan. Whatever.
of the receivers, he definitely has the best chance. I think he has to be far and away. And if he has a Garrett Wilson caliber season, or like close to that, or Chris Olave caliber season, I think that take can be.
That's still not even gonna happen. But anyways,
Whatever you say, bud.
Brentlee, final remarks. Do you have any?
I don't have any. I'm good. Y'all good,
Alright.
I'm good.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for listening and watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Signing off.
Peace.